We live in an age where smartphones are part of our daily lives. It's hard to separate ourselves from smartphones and detach away from digital realities. The thing is, however, what if I told you that there is a company claiming that by having a smartphone with basic resources that it would clear your mental health and do better for you throughout your daily life. Now, the company that we're going to be taking a look at is called Techless. Techless, according to their website, is a smartphone brand that is trying to do two specific things. Help you break free from big tech companies like Apple and Google, and at the same time giving you smartphone and other products that'll help improve your daily life and reduce your mental health and things of that nature. Now, Techless is not the first brand out there to do something like this. A few years ago, there was a company called Light, which had created a smartphone, albeit different from what traditional smartphones look like. There's also since then been a wide variety of other manufacturers of smartphones that have come out with essentially a similar phone and a similar business model that we'll touch on later in this video. The difference between those companies and what Techless does is that Techless is basically selling you nothing more than a house of cards described as vaporware, and ultimately I think a lot of people need to see the red flags. Now let's talk about the obvious red flags with Techless and the Wisephone. The first is that they are selling you a $400 smartphone for features that you can get in a smartphone from a brand like Motorola or Umidigi or even other ones for less than the price of the Wisephone. Also keeping in mind that because those phones are typically stock Android, you're going to have a lot more features and a lot more controls and things like that than what the Wisephone is giving you. Also, the other thing about the Wisephone is that in order to actually use this phone, you need a monthly subscription plan that only Techless will sell you. And I mean that literally. They state on their website that without a monthly subscription plan, you cannot use this phone. And also, you cannot attach it to any other carrier at the moment. Now, the other thing is that when you go and look at their monthly subscription plans, the reality is that they are selling you nothing more than better than Straight Talk or some other bottom-of-the-barrel mobile cell service. For their basic plan, which is $24.99 a month, you finally get access to the 7 most basic features of a smartphone, as well as the unlimited call, text, and essential data, which most likely is anywhere between 512 megabytes to 1 gigabyte of high-speed data, and that's essentially it. Somehow you have the ability to talk, though, to a human support person for whatever reasons I don't entirely understand. Then, once you start to decide about paying for $44.99 a month on their second plan, you basically get access to their version of the Google Play Store called the Techless App Drawer. And this is basically apps from third-party developers that they have carefully vetted to fit somehow this mission of, again, curing smartphone addiction and improving your daily life. You also get the increase of whatever the essential data is to 2 gigabytes per month, which honestly is still kind of frankly insulting at $44 a month. The last plan that they offer is they're just out there, $70 a month. You get unlimited talk, text, and unlimited data of 50 gigs high speed, throttled all the way down to 128 kilobytes per second, which is, again, frankly insulting that you are paying possibly $70 a month in order to use a phone and then get features anyways. Now, the reality is that as well, they actually don't tell you who the carrier that they use is. If you scroll down to the bottom of Techless's website and look at their frequently asked questions, they say that for confidentiality reasons, they can't tell you who their carrier is. This is essentially akin to making you buy a phone, hoping that it works on Verizon servers, but only telling you eventually, hey, sorry, this phone only works on AT&T. Obviously, something that you probably wouldn't have bought the phone if you knew beforehand that this phone wasn't going to work in your area of coverage. Ultimately, they're also selling you a phone basically with a reskinned version of any other type of basic proprietary launcher. Again, this is not new. Samsung has created things like the One UI, OnePlus has their own version, Xiaomi has the MIUI, and so forth and so forth. So while this is understandable, it's basically meant to give you sort of a personalized feel. Although I really recommend that you look at the Google Play Store and realize that there are a ton of minimalist launchers that basically do very similar to what Techless is claiming theirs can do. Ultimately, at the end of the day, they're selling you nothing more than a vision that is built on a house of cards in the form of a smartphone that you're not going to find value out of and that you're really not going to need to use, because if you have a phone from Apple, Google, or any other company like that, you basically are already in that world. There's no need to leave that because you already have convenience at your fingertips. Now, from there, I want to leave it up to you guys in the comments down below. Do you guys think that Techless is a scam? Do you think that it is nothing more than vaporware? Or do you think that there's something actually viable to this business and that I might be genuinely wrong? Let me know in the comments down below. If you did enjoy this video, make sure to leave a like as well and subscribe to the channel for more content like this and other types of content that I create.